Hi there. Welcome to the Ithaca Creek State School Prep Information. We're going to be giving you lots of information about starting prep at our school next year. My name is Kate Seymour and I am one of the prep teachers here, and I really look forward to meeting you all in the near future. As teachers, we know that the first year of school is an exciting milestone and lays the foundation for future learning and understandings. At Ithaca, we pride ourselves on our philosophy of developing a happy, engaged and a resilient child who loves to learn. We set high expectations whilst nurturing every child and celebrating each child's successes. We structure the day so it is active, hands-on and values the child's voice. Our teaching and learning program incorporates the explicit teaching of literacy and numeracy skills. Within the core subjects, we differentiate the learning tasks so each child can work to the best of their ability. We plan units of works that can allow children some time for play and curiosity. At Ithaca Creek, we implement the Australian curriculum. Literacy, as described in this curriculum, involves students listening to, reading and viewing, speaking, writing and creating oral, print, visual and digital texts. In the prep year, our priority is developing a working understanding of how sounds are represented alphabetically, learning to read and write through drawing on their knowledge of the alphabet and the sounds they make. Guided reading and sight word knowledge further develop reading and writing skills over the year. Oral language skills are also a priority and are an essential part of prep literacy learning. This learning takes place through explicit whole class lessons, modelled and guided activities, small group work, cooperative learning experience and play-based activities. Mathematics in the Australian curriculum includes 3 strands: number and algebra, statistics and probability, and geometry and measurement. In prep, we emphasise number concepts such as counting, numeral recognition, sorting and grouping of real-life objects. Concepts are introduced through explicit teaching and reinforced through hands-on exploration and manipulation of concrete materials, and further developed across play, cooperative learning and small group activities.
Hi, my name's Erin Clinton and I am one of the prep teachers here at Ithaca Creek State School. I've been a prep teacher here for the last 3 years, and I've also taught in the middle and upper years over my 20-year career, so I have a lot of experience in primary school teaching. And I really look forward to meeting you and your child next year. At Ithaca Creek State School, we include 1 hour of collaborative philosophy inquiry into our weekly timetable. This allows students to explore different possibilities and points of view, listen to others with whom they may disagree, develop a broader or more inclusive outlook, take account of other people's interests and concerns, be reasonable in dealing with differences and disagreements, and engage with one another over matters of common interest and concern. We start each unit of work with a storybook that lends itself to the topic we are leading into. The student then offer their own questions about the events in the story that puzzle them. A philosophy lesson is led by the children's discussion around a particular topic. The teacher facilitates the dialogue by deepening and challenging student thinking through open-ended questioning and through concept and skill development activities. The philosophy unit of work begins with developing the children's skills in listening, asking questions, giving reasons, and understanding the difference between a question and a statement, and open and closed questions. As they become more confident in these skills, the units move on to the philosophical concepts of fairness, rules, friendship, kindness, sharing, and values. We also see how the skills learnt in philosophy flow over into all other subject areas in the curriculum, enabling deeper thinking and questioning of topics in maths, English, science, etc. Here are some of our past prep students' thoughts on philosophy. At Ithaca Creek, we follow the mindfulness curriculum, which is based around 20 topics that have been mapped to the Australian curriculum to develop self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and social management skills. At Ithaca Creek, we adopt the mindfulness curriculum into our timetable each day with 5 to 10 minutes of guided mindfulness exercises, usually after first or second break. We try to integrate mindfulness practices into other areas of the day to help develop skills and strategies that students can take with them into all areas of their life. For example, deep breathing when upset and thoughtfulness when solving problems together. There are parent resource guides on the Smiling Minds website if you would like to learn more about this program.
Hi, my name's Sophie Bailey. I'm one of the prep teachers here at Ithaca Creek State School. I've been teaching prep here for 2 years now, and I just really love seeing how far the children come in their foundation year of schooling.
A motor skill is simply an action that involves using muscles. Fine motor activities. Fine motor is the coordination of small muscles in movements, usually involving the synchronization of hands and fingers with the eyes. Fine motor activities are an integral part of our classroom practice in the early years, especially during semester 1, where we have a strong focus on pre-writing skills and fine motor control for manipulation. We build fine motor activities into our daily program in a variety of ways through drawing, cutting, threading, writing, painting, and the manipulation of a range of tools and materials like clay and Play-Doh. Children are constantly refining these skills throughout the year as they transition to more writing focus in semester 2. Gross motor activities. Like fine motor activities, we include gross motor activities into our teaching practice. Gross motor skills are larger movements you make with your arms, legs, feet, or your entire body. So crawling, running, and jumping are gross motor skills. There is a strong focus on these activities during our Friday PMP rotations, which stands for Perceptual Motor Program. The children participate in an obstacle course set up in the early years playground that encourages balancing, climbing, jumping, and many other skills. They also take part in 20 minutes of yoga and 20 minutes of dance during these rotations. All these activities help to build gross motor skills in conjunction with their specialist PE and dance lessons throughout the week. Outdoor learning. We have very unique learning spaces here at Ithaca Creek State School with our nature play and jungle area. Our nature play area has concrete tunnels, a sand pit, and a dry creek bed, which provides such a wonderful opportunity for open-ended play. In prep, we utilise this space in our Friday gross motor rotations, and this area is also open at breaks to the prep, Year 1 and Year 2 students. Our jungle area is both a calming and active space for students. The many trees give opportunities for students to be in nature as well as using gross motor skills to climb. A great example of utilising the jungle space is taking our maths outside and getting students to collect a number of sticks to count, bundle, add or subtract. Digital literacies. Students use iPads as part of their daily numeracy and literacy rotations, where they are exposed to a variety of educational applications, increasing their confidence with these age-appropriate digital literacies. We also have Techno Time once a fortnight, where students have the opportunity to immerse themselves in a range of technology, including bbots, circuits, and other tasks requiring innovative, age-appropriate problem-solving skills.
Hello, I'm Mr. D. Currently I teach Prep C here at Ithaca Creek State School. I look forward to welcoming all students in 2021. The first thing I want to run over today is the assessment and reporting that will be provided while your child is in prep. There's written reports issued at the end of semester 1, which is in term 2, and the end of semester 2 at the end of term 4. There are also parent-teacher meetings in terms 1 and 3. There's two types of assessment we refer to. One is formative. That's the ongoing monitoring of a student's capability. We do that on a daily basis as teachers, so we're monitoring the progress of individual students. There's then summative assessment. This is assessment that's associated with units of work and is formally assessed against a guide to making judgments. This provides provides us with a measure against the Australian Curriculum Achievement Standards, and this is what informs the report cards that you will be receiving. There's also an area of standardised assessment. These are things that, such as PM benchmark reading levels and early start on entry and end of the year. The next thing I'd like to just run through with is a routine of what a normal day might look like within prep at Ithaca Creek State School. The classrooms actually open at 8:45 a.m. and we encourage children to be independent as they're coming into the classroom. So you may help them, especially in the first term, to put their things away. Lunchbox, brain break, water bottle, come inside the classroom. There's a place for those to be stored. Backpacks are zipped up, and parents usually are allowed to stay within the classroom with their child till about 8:50 a.m. Breaks throughout the day. In the first session of learning, we have a brain break, which is usually a fruit or a vegetable. At about 10 a.m, we generally go outside and eat that as a group. First break eating is at 10:50 a.m. Our second break eating starts at 1:30 p.m. That's this year, but there is talk that may change for 2021. We collect the brain break food in a container in the classroom. We take that out together. Lunch boxes are also stored in the classroom. The 2 eating breaks at first and second break are 10 minutes in length each, and they then get 30 minutes of playtime each break. That's relevant for this year. There are talks that may change slightly in 2021. To reduce waste, no unnecessary packaging should be included in lunch boxes, and we do have a waste-free Wednesday where there's no bins available for waste to be put into. The 2 play breaks occur after first and second break eating. Initially, to start the year, will be confined to the early years playground and the outdoor learning area or nature play area. As the preps settle into school, however, they will be permitted to play in other areas of the school. In normal circumstances, school will end at 3 p.m. and students will be collected from the classroom. It does suggest in the guides that adults collect a student from the classroom for at least the first term. Those students booked into out of school hours care will be collected from the classroom by the staff. However, this year things have not been normal. So at present, that is not the routine that is in place. We can only assume that we'll be back to that normal routine in 2021. The primary form of communication from us as teachers would be via email. This would include sending out a classroom newsletter and term overview at the beginning of each term. We would then contact you via email if any other important issues arose throughout the term. There's also the school newsletters that are now a linked email that's sent out weekly on a Friday. If there's any hard copy notes or forms that are required to be sent home, they'll go home in a red folder. In each classroom, there's also a parent notice board that has information regarding classroom reminders, timetables and assessment tasks. There's also the ICC website, Twitter feed, and perhaps some other forms of communication on social media, which will contain school updates. Each class will also be appointing a P&C parent representative who will also help to communicate school and P&C news to parents. In regards to personal items, please make sure that all equipment is clearly labelled with the child's name. That will include lunch boxes, brain break snacks, drink bottles and all clothing, including socks and shoes. It would be really helpful if your child could learn to close their own lunch containers and open them and open any bags of food or whatever else may be provided, and to put their shoes and socks on themselves. It's very time consuming to have to put shoes and socks onto all the preps after a playtime. In swimming in term 1, weeks 5 to 10, we usually have this happening, and I'm assuming it will again in 2021. Students will need a swimming bag with a cap, swimmers, sun-safe swimming shirt. Goggles are optional. Can you please make sure that all those items are also labelled, and that children can change into and out of their swimming clothes independently? It can be useful to pack some spare clothes, including underwear, shorts and dresses, in your child's bag, just in case there's an accident. Just also please check in with your child to make sure they're going to be comfortable using the toilet facilities at school. This can be a challenge sometimes for some children. Prep teachers are very understanding of the issues revolving around this on occasions, and we do make special allowance to make sure preps have access to the toilet as required. Finally, I'd just like to highlight a couple of social and personal growth issues that may arise during their time beginning prep. They're going through many changes, both physically, emotionally, socially, and within their brain function. This may see them changing behaviours or attitudes at home in relation to how they interact with siblings and with yourself. They're being placed in a situation where they're very small children in a very big school with a lot of very large children, and they're the smallest ones here. It can be quite a strange experience and challenging for them. They're also placed under a high level of routine and expectations, and this will be something they haven't had to face before, either at home, at kindergarten, or at daycare. We do try to transition them as carefully as we can through these problems, but as they try to meet the routines and expectations at school, they may begin to start challenging those at home, and this can provide a conflict between parents and students. It's also important to remember that they see the world from the perspective of a 4 or a 5-year-old, and that perspective is sometimes true to them but may not be reflective of the entire situation that's occurring. So always remember to ask questions and to talk to the teachers concerned if you have any problems there.